Hey, what is going on, fools? It's AJayPay bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle against RedShiner. Got another UU match, got Chasey in it this time, which I've usually been using because Chasey is such a special defensive wall in this tier. It needs to move up. It definitely needs to. But if you recognize this team a bit, you may recognize it from one video. It's a experimental team, except I replaced Umbreon with Chasey, obviously, because Chasey is such a good special defensive wall. It's based around Roserade, a Choice Scarf Roserade. Now, Quillfish is supposed to set up the Toxic Spikes, and then Choice Scarf Roserade is eventually Venom Shock all of them to death, while all these other guys, weaken them before the Roserade comes in and sweeps the whole point. Only problem is, 3 things will only be affected by it, and Scrafty probably has Shed Skin, so it only will be affected by 2. So once again, this team fails like it usually does, but it's won like 6 games and only lost 1, and that loss is against a actual famous / good YouTuber that I will probably upload later if I actually do figure out if it was him. It's just on the Wi-Fi finder, he wasn't under that name, but the in-game name did have his name. I just wasn't too sure, but I gotta figure that out later. But you're gonna be seeing in this game, this team actually destroys his team. Well, not necessarily destroys. It just completely walls his team. And Roserade, once again, simply fails. This Choice Scarf Roserade thing never works for me. But we're just going to go ahead and start the battle. So I decided to lead off with my Mew to bait him to basically go for the U-turn, because I knew he would switch into Crobat. Now, also, I wanted to see what kind of set of Crobat this was, if possible, and to see what his initial switch in against a Quillfish would be, as he does go for the U-turn. But it doesn't do a lot. However, I was still thinking he might have been Choice Banded, even though I don't really know the damage of it, not too sure. But he chooses Raikou to be the initial switch in over Rotom Heat, so that's telling me Rotom Heat is probably not Scarf. But this Raikou is definitely something, I don't know. But I'm going to switch it to Chasey, because Chasey is that special defensive wall that walls all the special attackers, needs to be moved up. And it's called Last Chance because this is Chasey's last chance of being in UU, because it's going to move up. It better move up. But I'm going to switch out and go into my Heracross, because even if he does bulk up or Dragon Dance, I still completely wall him. He doesn't really have much to touch me. And bulk up doesn't matter to me as well, because I am a Choice Banded set. But he's going to switch into the Suicune, predicting me to go for the Stone Edge, because he thought that he was going to switch into Crobat. But I just really went for the close combat only because I wanted to get some damage on something, and I knew it would do somewhat of amount even if he did go to Crobat. And this does more than half, but leftovers bring him some, like, a bit over half. So I don't want to take the risk of dying or getting him burned. So I might as well just switch it to my Quillfish for now, because even if he does set up a Calm Mind, I can go for Haze. It doesn't matter. But he's going to go for the Scald, and this is where he gets really unlucky, because this is where I can set up my Toxic Spikes. I'm going to get both layers up. But he's not going to get a single burn on my Quillfish, and he does get a crit on my Quillfish, and that crit will not matter whatsoever, as you'll see in a second here. As I got both Toxic Spikes up, so now I can do the Venom Shocking thing on either the Suicune, the Raikou, or the Scrafty now, even though Scrafty does have Shed Skin. But we double switch. I switch into Chasey, he switches into Bronzong, and we both go for the best move of the game, which is Stealth Rocks, as I do go for the Wish, and then he just Toxics me for some reason. I don't know why. Even though he could simply... I do have Natural Cure. Anyways, I switch into Quillfish to get the Wish, as he does probably predict that goes into Rotom. And now I'm fearing the electric move, so I switch out to Chasey, because, last chance for you to switch out. If not, I'm going to Toxic you or do something. But he cripples me, and he tricks me, the Choice Spec. So now Chasey's not going to be as useful anymore, but still, it does wall all of his special attacking pokes. I'm going to stay in here, though. I just want to go for the Wish. I want to see what his initial switch into Chasey would be right now. And because basically, I have a lot of things to really switch into. Because technically, in Team Preview, I wasn't really worried about most of his pokes, other than the Crobat and like Suicune and stuff. But now he's going to switch his Scrafty in, and I just stay in. I just want my Chasey to be as in full health as possible, because now it's really crippled. So it's not going to have a lot of opportunities to heal itself or Toxic something or to do anything in general. But he switches Scrafty in, and I honestly don't care if that Scrafty is in, because Scrafty can't do anything until he kills my Quillfish or my Heracross. He needs to take those two out in order to actually set up with this thing. But I go back into Heracross as he does go for the crunch for some reason. I'm not too sure. Maybe he didn't want to go for the high jump kick and risk the chance of missing. But I know he might switch into Crobat now, but I still really didn't want to take the risk of him staying in. And I know Close Combat should do a good amount to Crobat, and now that I also do have the Stealth Rocks, because I didn't see any Life Orb Recall, so I'm thinking he's choiced. So I go for the Close Combat. Surprisingly does not do a lot, even though I'm choice banded, but then again he 4 times resists it. But then I'm going to switch out because I'm fearing the Brave Bird, and then he shows me that he does not actually, what the heck am I saying? He's actually not choice banded, he actually has Roost, so I don't know what kind of set this Crobat is. I don't see Leftovers, Life Orb Recoil, or Choice this or any way, you know, so he might be Expert Belt. I don't really know, but regardless, Quillfish still does wall this thing, and Quillfish also does wall this Scrafty as well, as I'm thinking he's thinking that he could simply just use me as setup fodder, but he's technically really wrong, because I do got Haze, but I do got another move to completely shut him down. And what my main plan was is to take him down to the point where he does want to rest, because I'm assuming right now that he's probably going to want to set up a bulk up because he can live 1 more waterfall. I mean 2 more waterfalls actually, but I do get a flinch. It does not matter unless if he did go for the rest, then it did somewhat matter. But if I'm thinking he just would have went for the bulk up that turn anyways, because now I'm going to go for the taunt, predicting him to go for the rest since he's at basic KO range. And I'm pretty sure Waterfall wouldn't have taken out for that range. And I do get this right. So now the Scrafty is really basically going to die soon, as I thought he would switch out here just to save this Scrafty in as later for death fodder or something. But he stays in, he goes for the crunch, you know, but it honestly does not matter to me that much. As I hit the mic, if you heard the sound, I'm sorry. But yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. And I'm predicting here for him to go into Suicune, predicting me to go for the... Someone's predicting him to go into Crobat. But I'm going to go for the same move for a 3rd time in a row and go for a Close Combat again, because usually people change up moves at this point, but I'm just going to go for the same move again. I'm just going to go for that Close Combat, because one, I kind of learned that against that famous YouTuber, because this battle was after that famous YouTuber, so I learned my lesson a bit, and I should have went for the same moves when I should have not switched up moves, but you guys don't really know what I'm talking about. You'll see that video eventually once I figure things out. But now I'm able to kill off this Suicune because nothing really wants to take another Close Combat, and I'm down to 1 more Close Combat technically, because I did go for 2 against... No, I went for 3 against the Suicune, and there's pressure, so that's 6, and then 1 against that Crobat, so that's 7 Close Combats I've used, so I only have 1 left. So I gotta use that wisely. But I'm gonna go back into my Quillfish because I'm fearing the Brave Bird, and it does wall this Crobat. Now I'm knowing that he's not choice banded, so I know Brave Bird shouldn't be doing as much to me anymore, and eventually I would win a battle, a 1-on-1 battle against this Crobat. But now he's gonna switch out, thinking I'm gonna go for the Roost, going for the taunt, predicting him to go for the Roost, but he switches into Raikou, just, yeah, you know. And I'm going to hit him with the Waterfall, and that's going to do a very sufficient amount, and the Toxic is also going to bring him down as well. So the Toxic is actually somewhat helping me. But now here comes something kind of critical, kind of crucial. Not really though. I finally switch in the main player of this team, Darien Tux, the main character of this team. This team is surrounded for this Pokemon right here, for this Choice Scarf Roserade. He gets a crit on the Volt Switch, which does somewhat matter, as I'll point out later when that will happen. And he switches Crobat in. Now I'm thinking, alright, I can outspeed this thing. I'm Choice Scarf. I'm going to take out with a Hidden Power Ice. No, he outspeeds me. Apparently, Choice Scarf Roserade is outsped by Max Speed Crobat. So, you know, my mistake. I don't know my speed tiers about that. My bad. So the main character dies first. So this stupid Roserade fails again, like always, and it really made me mad, because the reason why I brought the team was mainly to make it finally work for once in its life. But I bring in Quillfish to wall the Crobat. He predicts a taunt again, I believe. Either that or he took precedence in having his Crobat live over the Raikou, and Raikou is just going to die from a Waterfall and Stealth Rocks damage. But Rotom's going to finally come in, and I'm just going to decide to let this Quillfish die at this point, even though I could have switched in my Snorlax. I don't know why I don't do that, but I'm really thinking at this point this game really is mine. because eventually the Stealth Rocks are going to take his toll on him, because I don't think he has Pain Split because he was a choice spec set before he tricked me. And this is where the crit did somewhat matter, because if that Volt Switch did not crit my Roserade, he would have taken more recoil from the Brave Bird and he would have died from Stealth Rocks on this turn. But he's going to barely live with a tiny nub, and he's going to get a U-turn off my U, and I knew I could live one, so that's why I decided to stay it. And right here, I should have went for the nasty plot instead of going for the side shot, because I was thinking, you know, if he stayed in, I would have killed him off and Brave Bird might have 2-KO'd me. But then I realized Brave Bird takes recoil. He would have died from the recoil. So I might as well just set up a nasty plot instead of, you know, going for the side shot and now the Scrafty being all immune to it. But it doesn't matter because I do have Aura Sphere, so it dies off. But where the nasty plot actually does somewhat matter is going to be against this Bronzong here, because I'm thinking, you know, once Bronzong comes in, I'm max attack, I am a timid nature, well, timid speed. Shadow Ball should do a decent amount. It does barely anything, and I found out even if this was defensive, it would have that Shadow Ball still wouldn't have done as much, because Bronzong does have a really good special defense. So I really did overestimate Mew's special attack and underestimated Bronzong's special defense. But I'm just waiting for Mew to die here, as Mew finally does die, and as Crobat dies as well. And then I make a stupid misclick switch in. I wanted Snorlax in, not this thing, because my Snorlax is a max attack leftover set, and it does carry Fire Punch. And I know it should be a 3 to 4 hit KO on that Bronzong. But, you know, I decided to go for the rest, because I knew he'd go for a Toxic this turn, because I don't want Snorlax to be Toxic just yet. I want to be Toxic when I go for Fire Punch the first time. So I do go for a Wish, as he's going to go for the Gyro Ball, try to take out Snorlax. But at this point, he knows he can't beat me because he only has the Bronzong and the Rotom. And he's just going to run. And as we're going to go into key plays of the battle, well, it's going to be plays, not a play. Stealth Rocks was definitely one of them. It's the most important move of the game because it helped me take out the Crobat and it helped me wear down the Rotom and limit its switches in and out because it was actually a threat to my team. And then Quillfish, of course, being a defensive wall, walling his physical attacking pokes, and also being able to shut down his physical attacking pokes like Scrafty as well with taunts, and then the Toxic Spikes as well, helping it wear it down. And yeah, that's going to be a 4-0 victory. I believe 4-0? No, it's not going to... Yeah, 4-0 victory on my part. But it was still a fun, good game. And he couldn't have won at that point as well, since he only had Bronzong and Rotom Heat left, because Snorlax basically wells Rotom Heat, and Snorlax had Fire Punch to take out Bronzong. Hopefully one day this team will actually get what its main purpose is supposed to be done, and have Choice Scarf, Roserade, Venoshock, and destroy everything and finally win like that. When that happens, I will upload it immediately, no matter what day it is. But regardless, that about does it for me. So like if you like, comment if you like, subscribe if you like, follow me Twitter, like Society of Fools, and add me on Skype to battle me. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. And all the things will be down in the description below. Bye bye.